Hi, Internet viewers. Frank Rauscher one more time. We're marching on with the Indigo. Yeah, here we go again. I may get the right bird I'm doing yet. The Lazuli Bunting. I don't know why I want to say Indigo Bunting, but there is one out there. And just to give you a little heads up, the Indigo Bunting is a little bit smaller than the Lazuli Bunting. And if anybody wanted to do a different bunting, you can do that with the setup we're doing. You can follow mine, and it's very similar. The only thing is the length of the Lazuli Bunting is a little bit bigger than the Indigo Bunting. And there's the Painted Bunting also. There's several of them out there. So you can sort of do different paintings of a similar bird and get away with it almost, okay? So I just want to give you a heads up on that, so you're not locked in on maybe you don't like a blue bird, or something like that. But on our last go around, I had asked you to get the markings in. We had the dark markings, and then we put the white in, and I wanted to enhance the white a little bit more, and I'll show you that. Let me show you the finished one that I've done before, just to show you the brightness of it, of the white, so you can get an idea. And it gets a little dusty down here because I've been trying to work on another item. And this, the white, you can see on the edge of the white on the backside, it's a little brighter. So today we're going to do a little bit of, we're going to do the tail on the underneath side, and we're going to do the breast, okay? And we'll probably add a little color to the beak on the bottom side, okay? Because it's not all black, okay, like we have it on the top. So just want to, we'll try to finalize that too. And we're moving on. We're getting really close to the end. Pretty soon we'll be putting feet in it, and then we'll be mounting it. So we're getting to that point where we're starting to make some progress with the bird. So I'm going to take you down, and we'll start mixing colors, and I'll give you the rest of it. We've used, for the base coat, it was, I'm trying to remember, the cerulean blue is what we used as a base coat for the head, the tail, the wings. And then we went in with black, and I said you could use any black. I used ivory black, and I believe, yeah, it is ivory black. And then we used titanium white, and I showed you how to do that too. So we're getting pretty close, like I said, to the end, so that'd be great. And then we'll start a new project. I think I may do something a little bit different and get away from birds just for a short stint here, because I'm going to show you something different to do just as a novelty. And I'm not going to spring it on you until I get it done and see how it turns out. But for those, we've been doing birds, and I usually do animals too, but I haven't reached back to the animal end of it. But I may surprise you here before you see the next series coming up, okay? And it shouldn't be that long neither. It's a item that's sort of like a cute one in a way. So I hope you'll enjoy it. I just wanted to give a heads up on anybody that may be doing the bunting. If you wanted to follow along with us and go through the step-by-step, I do have kits available that give you the pattern, the feet, the eyes, and the basswood blank, which is an excellent carving wood. And I have them, and I have a list of birds I've done over the years. God, it seems like it grows more and more. I haven't listed every bird I did, but I have quite a few, and I'm adding more on. I do have a catalog available if somebody would like to get one. If you can write to me, or give me an email, I should say, so I could get your email, and then I'll send you one electronically, and it come right to you. And my email address is Rauscher, Rauscher, Frank, Frank, 7 @gmail.com, and I can mail you out the catalog. If you have any questions, you can always give me a buzz or email me back, however you want to do it. And I can show you a lot of things I have. The catalog doesn't show everything I have, but if you're interested in certain things, I'll try to help you. I do have books available still, but I don't really advertise them too much. But if you're looking for reference material, hey, definitely contact me. I'll see if I have it. If I don't have it, I'll recommend the book for starters, what's a real good one, and then where to get it. So I'll try to do that for you too. Try to get you in the right step to follow up on things, to do things easier. That's what I'm trying to make. And I'm trying to give you a step-by-step without overloading you, at least I hope I'm not, to learn how to attack the carving and show you the bits and so on. I may even at some point in here again go through my repertoire of bits that I use and the equipment. I have a Fordham that I use, and I have ram grinders, micro grinders that I call, and they're excellent. And I try to gear you to what I think. I like the Optima burning units, and I also like the Optima pens, but that's a matter of choice, and if you have something already, I'd say stay with it, like a lot of people, and I've done it in the beginning. I used to have a Sears grinder. It was really big and bulky, and I did a Dremel, and I had won that in a carving contest. And over the years, I sort of felt I'll gear my students, and I'll try to do it the same way with you, to what's a good buy. Now, the market has opened up with a lot more items out there and stuff like that. So it's gotten better, but I'll put you on to what I think's more reputable companies that I like, and the bits and everything, the ones that I favor, that I think will do the best for you. And you'll see it, because I use everything I use, I sell basically, and try to guide you in that direction. So without spending that much more time, let me move the camera down. You can follow me on the painting of this, and we'll move on a little bit, okay? So bear with me, and we'll take you on to the Lazuli Bunting. Got it right that time. Okay, we're back. And I have the one we've been working from. I may just highlight a little white on here before I call it a day on this row and this row here, and the same way on the other side, to get the right, it's like a white to an off-white as you go into the black, okay? So I'm going to try to give you that. I got I don't know, what is it, a bug flying around here, bugging me here. So what we're going to do now is, I still have that hole for that device I was showing you that you can hold. Stanley makes it that I still like to hold my pieces. That's me. But when you're painting sometime, you start doing finger painting and you really don't want to get into that. So here we go. What I'm going to use this time is I got a tray here and I put about maybe 2 or 3 drops in, and I used, maybe a BB size of, this here is burnt sienna, okay? And this is what I'm going to use on the breast. And I don't want it to come on real strong. So what I'm going to do on this other cup here, I'm going to put some water. So if I have to water it down, I don't want it real strong, you know. So we're going to come in here, and we're going to start from where I left off on the, I don't know why I want the cerulean blue color into this burnt sienna. And it's going to come down in this white area to about where the 3 feathers end on each side. That'll be like where you want to fade it off. I also have a little bit of white from the last time. Remember I told you if you put some saran wrap over, put a drop in the paint before you put the saran over it, you can still really get the paint to stay for several days if you have to come back and do some touch-ups and stuff like that. So let me start you out here. I'm going to go in, I'm going to wet my brush, and I'm going to use, it's like about a number 6, I believe this is. It doesn't have the number on it, but I'm notorious for these finer ones, like the number 3 I have that I was showing you before. I love the point on this. It goes right back to a point. You can see this is an older brush that's been worn down. This is old too, but they still hold their point, and I really like that, especially when you're doing fine work. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to load my brush up here just so you can see it. I'm going to go on the paper towel here, and you can see the stain on here. I'm going to see how it looks when I apply it. And if it looks like it's just too heavy or too dark, I'm going to just water it down a little bit, and I'll show you how I do this. So we'll rinse the brush, take the water out, come back in here, take the excess off. You never want to go fully charged right onto your piece, and then the drips are running and stuff like that. And the other thing I want to do too is I always like to use my optimizers, which are these guys here, and I always recommend them, especially for detailing. I like to use it for painting too sometimes. So I'm coming in here, and I'm trying to just finesse this right up into the white, but not the blue, okay? And the coloring looks like it's exactly what I want. Okay, so far so good. That was only about a pea size to about maybe a quarter of the cup. And I take the excess off so it's not so runny. And we come in, and I'm being careful to cover the white at the top here that's blending in with the blue. And I want to make sure I don't leave any white edge up front. So I come right across, and I stay within the breast area. Now I'm going to come down, and I want to try to go in one direction, and I'm feeling as though I'm running out of paint, so I charge my brush up again. Okay. Take the excess off and then come in. And you can see the coloring on here. This is what I really like to maintain if we can. I'm trying to get a nice even coat on here. And I'm going to come down to the three feathers right here where they are. I'll come down to that area. Okay. And this shouldn't take that long as far as happening with what's the name? With I'm going to get a little bit of water here just to move this along a little bit. Just a little bit. And I don't want that to build up at the end or have a hard edge. So I'll show you how to get rid of that in a second here. Now, you want to keep your fingers off of, what's the name? Off the paint, okay? Because if you touch the paint, your fingers are like sponges and they'll lift up the paint as fast as going at you. Now, see how this is what I call like a hard edge. It doesn't have a defined edge like it is up here. So I'm going to rinse my brush out, take all the paint off, and I'm going to steal a little white that I have over here. I'm going to put it in the cup here, and then I'm going to just add a little bit right where I stopped the burnt sienna and let it even fade out like, okay, like so. All right. And if you get too much white going up, you can back it down just by coming in with the burnt sienna and come back and just, because it's wet, it will sort of blend off. Okay, as long as you don't overload your brush. You don't want a runny mix. Okay, so there we go. Now, I'm going to ask you, without drying, okay, we're going to sort of wing this in a sense. I'm going to take the excess off, and I'm going to come back up here again, and I'm going to give this a second coat right at the top here. For those who want to be a little more safer with this, you could dry it, okay, but I don't think this is so wet. I'm just trying to enhance the color at the top here. And then I'll show you. I'm going to come back. I'm not really giving it a second coat. I mean a second coat all over. I'm only doing it to maybe the first feather of these group of three here. And then what I'll do is I'll rinse my brush out, take the water off, and then just come in and drag this down a little bit, like so. Okay, and what it does is it intensifies just a little bit up top here, and then as you come down to about where the third feather is, it starts fading off, okay? And if you do it right, it blends with the white and it almost loses its color, okay? Now, I'm going to ask you to just get a little bit on the tip of the brush and be careful now. I'm going to ask you to come in and just give this a coat one time. Okay. Hope you could see this. And I didn't move out of the camera range. I'm notorious for that. I hope I didn't do that on the others. part here too. If I did, I will redo it again. And I've done that already too. So I just put a little bit of color. Okay, it's not a lot. And I don't want to put my fingers or anything else like that. I see something that I left a little white on that edge right there. So I got that. So that's about it right there. Now, I'm going to just let that sit for a minute. And we're going to now go into doing the, let's see if I have any black left. No. I'm going to get some of the black, but I'm going to be really stingy on this. I'm going to get a little bit out of my tube. This is the ivory black, but like I said, you could use any black, okay? Now, I'm going to get just a little bit off the tip of my brush. Hope you can see this. And it's not even a pea size. It's sort of wetting the brush with the paint, okay? Now, I'm going to come in and I'm going to just put some down here. I'm going to get, excuse me. Going to get maybe a drop or two, that's all, of water. And I'm going to mix this with the water. Okay, so it's almost like a not a charcoal gray, but almost that. And when I put it down, it's like a gray. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pick this up without touching the breast now, or without touching the beak. And I'm going to ask you to paint this. And that's all you need, is just a little bit like this. The underneath side of the tail feather. Because it is like a gray. Okay. So here we go. I'll take the excess off because I don't want it to run neither. And if it doesn't look like it has any color, I'll come back and grab it. Because I know I really made this very light. Now, there. I want to make sure even my edges aren't that dark. Okay, you can see I have it like a gray color. Now, I may just accelerate this a little bit, and I'm going to grab my rusty trusty hair dryer, and I'm going to aim it out that way, so it's not on my paint and it's not on the brush. Okay, so I'm aiming my hair dryer away from the paint and away from the brush. And it shouldn't take that long. I could even do the brush while I'm at it, if I wanted to. Okay. So, this ain't that bad at all. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into this gray, take the excess paint off, and then come in real careful, keep it on the feathers and not on the rump here, and give us a second coat. Now I'm going to do one other thing. I'm going to rinse that brush out, take the excess paint off, and let it sit. Now, I'm going to go back to my other favorite brush that I showed you earlier. If I could find it now. Of course, I'm not going to. What did I do with it? I had it in my hand. Okay, bear with me a second here. There is that fine pointed brush, which is one of my favorites. And they don't have to all be sable, but if you're after sable brushes, I do have them with fine points. And you're welcome to purchase it from me if you like, or you can get it from somebody else. You know, I'm just trying to make things available to you that I use. And my biggest problem right now is finding where I put my brush, and I don't see it around. My problem is I got too much stuff all over the place here, but I thought I had that. I may grab another brush here that is a thin one, like so. These are like a talcum, I think they're called. And what I'm going to do is see if I can get this into a point. That's coming into a nice point. See that? It's not as sharp as the one I usually like, but this will do the job. I'll show you. I'm going to come in with the gray again, and it's really getting to be hardly any color at all. But on the underneath side of the edge of the wing, I'm going to ask you to just come in just on the wing side, on the underneath side here, and run a little bit of gray right down. We're starting to run out of paint, which is fine, because I didn't make a lot of this, and we're not using a lot of that. It's just a little gray on what would be the back side of the wing. So I'll charge my brush up again. I'll come in right up in here, run that down on the back side of the wing, and that's it. All right, so we've now accomplished the underneath side of the tail. You can see the darkness of it, okay? It's got a gray in there, but it's a gray-white. You have this burnt sienna up top here. You have a little light burnt sienna up in top here. And what I'm going to, you know what I may do? Just do it one more time. I'm going to rinse my brush out again. I'm going to come back, just get a little bit on the tip here. And I'm going to come in a little bit more right on top here. I'm going to just do a little bit on top right here. Get it even across, just a little bit, take the excess off. Most of this is dry now because I've had the hair dryer on it. And I'm coming right across, and I'm coming down maybe a ½ inch from the top there. Now, I'm going to rinse my brush out, okay? And then I'm going to drag my wet brush, just with water, down in here, okay? Just like so. What it does, it intensifies up top, but then it waters down as it comes down further. And I'm going to do just a hair more on this side, just to make it look good in my eye, the way I look at it. Okay, so that should cover it. You did a coat up here, just on the white, on both sides. Okay, and that's good right now. And then, oh yeah, I got one other step to do. Let me show you. We're going to get a little bit of this gray that's left off of this small brush. I may even, let's see, yeah, this will be enough. And I'm going to come in without putting my fingers on any of that stuff. And just right where the beak and the bottom beak meet, I'm going to come in here. Let me get just a hair more. Let's see if I had any black left in there. No, I don't think I have any here. Let's see. No. Let me go back. I'm going to do this. Just I'll just take it right out of here. There's usually like a little bit of black. And you can see there's very little on that brush. And I'm still going to water it down. I'm going to get a little bit of water on my brush and come in here. You can see it's really like a gray still. See? But what I'm going to do, again, not trying to touch your breast. I'm just going to come in. And I'm just going to come in where the split is. And maybe a little bit on the back end of the bill and the middle here. Just a slight gray casting. And just do a little bit more. There you go. Okay, so now we got the breast, the tail, and the beak. And we're almost there. On the next video, I'm probably going to show you how to do the legs and then the mounting. We're getting really close now. We'll also do a little bit with the beak. The beak's going to get, we're going to put a gloss medium on the beak. Okay, because that's what, beaks are like a bone. So I'm going to show you how to do that too, with a gloss medium, okay? And not a matte medium, which we also use sometime in the paints to get a flatter color, okay? So you got the breast, the tail, and the beak. And burnt umber in the breast, a little bit of burnt umber on the beak, and a gray made from the black, okay? So all the colors we've been using, the newer one is definitely the burnt sienna, and here we are. So hope you've enjoyed this video and you learned something. And if you did, I would ask you to give me a thumbs up. And if you enjoy my videos, I would ask you to pass the word on to friends that may be interested in wanting to try, you know, different things. I've done, I guess I'm coming up almost on 300 videos, and I have done otters, I've done cardinals, wrens, you name it, spotted sandpipers, so on. And I'll be doing more, and I'm going to show you something interesting and different when we get done this bunting. So bear with me, and I hope you enjoyed everything. And I hope you learned something. So see you on the next video, and keep your fingers out of the paint. That's what I'm going to say as I suggested. See you on the next video. Bye now.